Hello and welcome to the Royal Road School of Carmelite Prayer. Today I would like to present an overview of Teresa of Avila's book, The Way of Perfection. This book was written at the request of Teresa's nuns. It was revised in 1569, and on the opening page, Teresa wrote the following: "This book deals with the advice and counsel Teresa of Jesus gives to her religious sisters and daughters. It's a practical book. It's a manual of advice and counsel, which is destined to initiate the Carmelite nun into a life of prayer. Throughout the work, Teresa is a teacher, and she demonstrates how to lead a life of prayer, and she points to the pitfalls and explains the right way from the wrong way of engaging in prayer. She understood that peace was necessary for a life of prayer, so Teresa avoided placing any unnecessary burdens on her nuns. She focused mainly on the three practices which are necessary to possess the peace the Lord recommends to dispose them to a life of prayer. These three virtues are, first of all, charity or love of neighbor, detachment, and the third virtue is humility. So these three virtues, once again, love of neighbor, detachment, and humility, form a foundation for prayer, free the spirit, and are at the same time the effects of prayer. So Teresa's method, or her way of prayer, invites us to be fully present to God, just as He is fully present to us at all times. We center our attention within, being fully present, looking at, gazing upon. These are the expressions that fit her way of prayer. She states that I am not asking you now to think about Him. I am not asking you to do anything more than look at Him. So the way of perfection can be divided as follows. The book contains 5 sections. The first section, chapters 1 through 3, speaks of the purpose of the Teresian Carmel. Section 2, chapters 4 through 15, address the foundations of prayer, the love of neighbor, the detachment, and the virtue of humility. Section 3, chapters 16 through 18, speak of diversity of paths in contemplative communities. Section 4, chapters 4 through 15, address prayer in general. And then the final section, section 5, chapters 27 through 42, offer a commentary on the Our Father. So today in our world, 2 copies of The Way of Perfection have been conserved. The first is on display at the Royal Library of the Escorial, and the second is in Teresa's Foundations of Carmelite Nuns in Valladolid. 2 copies were made of the Valladolid copy, and both were reviewed by Teresa herself. They are conserved today in the Monastery of the Carmelite Nuns in Salamanca and in Madrid. So thank you for joining me as we pursue our study of The Way of Perfection. If you're interested in purchasing a copy of the book, the Carmelite Friars in Washington, D.C. have a publication house, ICS Publications, at 1-800-832-8489. So thank you again for listening, and God bless. Amen.